Hi everyone, are you trying to find an apartment but your rental application keeps getting rejected? In this video I'm going to show you some tips to help you improve your profile as a rental applicant so you can get that apartment you want. And after that, if you're interested, we'll analyze some actual listings in your area to see just how far that rent money could go if you want to try to buy your own house this year. So come on, check out this video. First, landlords are not evil. They are not the devil and they are not out to get you. If you signed a rental contract, this is the first sign that the landlord is helping you, as this is a legal document that forces the landlord by law to give you certain things. The landlord-tenant relationship should be a professional one, with each side respecting the other and respecting the role and obligations that they've agreed to enter into. The biggest part of that obligation is to provide you with safe housing and to provide the landlord with the rent money on time every month. Do this and you'll never have a problem with this person. If you're having a hard time getting accepted as a tenant, I'm here to give you some tips on how to have your application accepted for the apartment you want more often than not. If you're currently a renter but want to become a buyer, I'll help you analyze the finances involved using real numbers from our market later in this video. Current actual listings in town show that average rents for 2 and 3 bedrooms as between $1,450 to $1,650. Of course, your particular situation will vary, and this is the average, so there are some lower and some higher. But oh my god, that's so high! I'd never pay that. That's a ripoff. Landlords are greedy. They don't need that much. They should give me the apartment for free because I'm nice. Yeah. We hear it all the time. Buyers of anything in life always think the seller is asking too much, but they never really understand what goes into these pricing models. But the market is the market, so instead of focusing on the negative, let's focus on what you can do to present yourself as the best tenant for that apartment. If you need or want to rent, that's great. Lots of great landlords have lots of great apartments out there. Let's discuss what will make your application stand out. First, completely fill out the application. All questions, legibly. That means neatly, so someone can read it. Have your ID with you and ready to be copied. Landlords want to know you are who you say you are, and don't show up to a showing without everyone who's going to sign the lease. There's no sense wasting time and having to come back later. Have at least your last 12 months canceled rent checks from your bank statement with you. If you're really serious about being a good tenant, you'll have this, or you can easily get it. If you pay by money order or cash every month because you don't have a bank account, stop. Get a bank account. Use checks. Don't overdraw your account or pass bad checks. Learn to manage your money, especially if you want to buy a house someday. If pets are allowed and you have them, have your vet's paperwork with you. If you don't have vet paperwork, you are not a responsible person. Have renter's insurance. You will show you are a responsible person if you have your own insurance. You will be amazed to find that your landlord's insurance does not cover your personal property. Prepare yourself as a responsible adult. If you have this information with you, neatly organized to hand to a landlord during the application process, you will stand out as a responsible renter. You will look like someone the landlord will want to hand over their property to, so they can be sure that you will not damage it and you will pay the rent on time. You will look fantastic compared to 99% of the other applicants out there. Now, if you follow these tips, you will have better success getting approved for the apartment that you would like. But if you're renting and would like to buy, contact me. Remember, buying a home is a journey. To prepare for this, you're going to need patience and knowledge. You need to help yourself with the patience, but I can certainly help you with some knowledge. Start by reading one of my free guides to you. These guides are my free gift to you. You can read Things to Consider When Buying a Home, as well as The Millennial's Guide to Home Ownership. Just click the link in the description of this video, go to michaeltotman.com, or visit me on Facebook /Mike W. Totman. Before you become a buyer, you should prepare your financial profile for the banks. Banks will require much more information than a landlord if you want them to give you a mortgage. Contact your lender and get a checklist of files they will require from you. It usually includes multiple months of all your bank statements, paychecks, utility payments, investment accounts, tax returns, basically anything that has your name on it with some sort of money tied to it, either income, expenses, or debt. Do this today. Even if you aren't ready to buy, the more you've prepared, the easier it will be when you need to move fast and make an offer. Now back to the naysayers. Remember that everyone says about high rents? Let's analyze real numbers right now and see just how accurate these doomsday divas really are when it comes to your particular market. Real estate varies by location and even more by geographic region. And even within our state, there's great variety when it comes to real estate prices. For this discussion, we're going to look at actual property listings in this area. These numbers represent a great majority of the area outside of Boston, from north to south, and even out towards Worcester. Welcome, $1.25 please. Remember, the average rent in this area for 2 and 3 bedrooms ranges from about $1,300 to $1,900 a month and averages around $1,450 to $1,650. Of course, the numbers will depend on the property, amenities, etc., but these are the averages. Now, what do you get for this high rent? In addition to your living space, you get on-call 24/7 maintenance. Just call the landlord if there's an issue with your roof, heating system, hot water. They'll take care of it for you. You don't have to worry. In fact, you should always call as soon as you think there's an issue. Call right away. Landlords would rather deal with a smaller issue now than a huge disaster later because you were afraid to call out of fear they would blame you. In this state, you're well protected from any negative reaction, but you must report any issue. You'll get snow removal in the winter and landscaping in the summer free of charge. And any other issues that happen at your apartment, simply call the landlord and he will magically fix it at no cost to you, assuming he didn't cause the issue. When you buy, you'll have to take care of all of this on your own, and trust me, you will have to deal with it all in the first few years. So let's address the statement, you could buy a house for what you pay in rent. Let's say you pay the average of 2 and 3 bedroom rents and call it $1,550. If you pay more or less than that in real life, adjust accordingly for this example. Can you pay for a mortgage with this amount? As the owner of the house, you'll have to pay property taxes, insurance, and depending on your down payment and mortgage, you may have to pay mortgage insurance to the bank. This is the T/I part of your mortgage payment. The first being P/I for principal and interest. We can calculate these amounts pretty easy if we know the purchase price of the home. The average of 2 and 3 bedroom homes listed for sale right now is about $290,000. This ranges from about $130,000 to $700,000, but this is an average. The average of all homes listed in town right now is about $360,000. So knowing this, we can calculate the property tax and mortgage insurance within close estimates. Your mortgage insurance and property insurance will vary based on your particular situation. Property tax is $1,560 per $1,000 of value. Eventually, your appraised value will catch up to the sale price, so we can figure $4,500 a year for taxes. Mortgage insurance is about 1% of your loan, give or take, so that's another $2,900 for the year. Property insurance will likely range between $1,000 to $2,000 for the year, so let's call it $1,500. Monthly, that's $741. So from our $1,550 rent payment, $741 will be going to the government and other service providers. This leaves about $800 available to pay for your principal and interest. So, can we afford this average house? With a 3% down payment of about $8,700, our initial loan amount becomes about $281,000. This doesn't include any other closing amounts or escrows you might want to throw into the loan either. And please, leave as much out of the loan as possible or you'll be paying interest on it for 30 years. Interest rates today are about 4.18%, give or take, so we'll use that to calculate our payment using any number of available mortgage calculators or Excel. Plugging these numbers into our mortgage calculator for a 30-year loan tells us that the principal and interest amount of our loan will be $1,372. That's only principal and interest. So our total payment on this average price house in town will be about $2,000 a month. Remember, the taxes and insurance portion of this payment will continue to increase every year. I mean, have you ever seen taxes and insurance rates fall? Now, this is just a monthly payment. Don't forget, you'll need to pay for your own maintenance, new roofs, heating systems, windows, landscaping, snow removal. You need to pay for your water, electricity, cable, internet, renovations, furniture, everything you need. And before you can close on your loan, you'll need more money for closing costs, prepaid amounts to fund your escrow account for taxes and insurance. You'll need to actually pay the first year's insurance up front. And then there are government fees, recording fees, legal fees, etc. Lots of fees. You can do it, and I hope you asked me to help find your new home. But the point here was to show how there are very real and legitimate reasons for renting. So before you give your landlord a hard time for asking you to pay your rent, remember what you are actually paying for and what benefits you receive. The landlord-tenant relationship is an important one in your life. It's your home and their livelihood. The more understanding each side is of the other's predicament, the more successful a relationship it will be. And in case you're saying, right, I wouldn't need that big a house, I'd take out a much smaller loan, anything like this, check this out. The payment on a $150,000 loan is still close to $1,500 a month. And that doesn't include any rehab. And well, there's probably a reason that house only costs $150,000 in this area. Here's an actual listing description of a $150,000 home for sale in this area. Note the first sentence in the description. Home needs work. So folks, if you have any question about real estate, buying, renting, selling, give me a call. I'm Mike Topman, 508-386-5000. Download my free guides for you, facebook.com/Mike W. Topman or michaeltopman.com. Thanks everyone.